Have you ever sat there and wondered how you're going to gain confidence? What is confidence? Where does it come from? How do I get it? I'm here to tell you the secret that I believe is how you gain confidence. And I promise you, it's not what you think it is. I was doing an interview with an amazing girl that I met at the PodMax community. Her name is Kristen Jackalek, and she is an astrophysicist turned entrepreneur. And it was during our interview that she said something that made me step back and say, holy shit, you're right. And I can't wait to share that with you. My name is Amber Fuhriman, and this is the More Than Corporate podcast.
Welcome to the More Than Corporate podcast. I'm Amber Fuhriman, recovering perfectionist and serial accomplisher. If you're anything like I used to be, you've been living your life thinking that if you accomplish enough stuff, you'll finally find the success you've always wanted. But what if it's not about accomplishing more stuff? What if it's about accomplishing the right stuff? I believe you don't find success. You create it by intentionally designing the life you want and having the courage to get out of your comfort zone to live your design. I went from doing what I was supposed to do to doing what I love to do, and now I get to help others do the same. Keep listening as I chat with inspiring people who make it their mission to live their best life every day and learn how you too can live the life you've always wanted.
Really quickly, before we jump into this topic, today's topic is brought to you by Success Development Solutions and the Design Your Life Mastermind. Let me ask you a question. What does success mean to you? Can you answer it right away? Do you know what you need to do to accomplish it? Do you have a clear plan that leads you to that definition of success that you just thought of? Maybe you're like I used to be, and you have no idea because nobody's ever asked you that question before. If you don't know what success means to you, if you don't know how to accomplish it step by step, if you do not have a plan and a blueprint in place to accomplish success for yourself, then the Design Your Life Mastermind is for you. 12 weeks of amazing content where you will get to network with other people, hear from experts in all areas of creating a well-rounded life for yourself. And through that 12 weeks, you will create the blueprint to the life that you've always wanted. If this sounds like something that you or someone that you know is interested, please head over to designyourlife.successdevelopmentsolutions.com, book a call with me and see if we are a good fit to work together. I am super excited to meet you. I'm super excited to hear about your journey and how I can help you be the success architect of your dream life. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this topic. So, we're talking about confidence, right? We're talking about how to get the confidence, how to come across as confident, how to feel confident. And first of all, I want to say that through my journey, I believe that coming across as confident, convincing others that you're confident, and truly being confident are two very, very different things. So, for today, I want to talk about truly feeling confident. So I was in an interview with Kristen Jackalek. I mentioned her in the intro, astrophysicist turned entrepreneur. And as I was preparing for this interview, I'm like, what the hell am I going to say to an astrophysicist? We're going through talking about her story and we're getting ready to really dig into her past and her passions. And she says a statement that made me step back and go, oh my gosh, you are 100% right. She said, for me, self-confidence comes after self-worth. Let me step back and say that again. Self-confidence comes after self-worth. And I really agreed with what she was saying in the moment. And then as I took time over the next couple of days to digest our conversation, I realized that that statement was so much more powerful than I had given it credit for at the time. So I want to step back and dig into this with you guys for just a minute. You guys hear me talk all the time about I'll be happy when moments, right? I talk about the time that I had in my life where I thought that a six-figure income and a law degree was going to solve all my problems. I thought that all of the issues that I had put in my little compartmentalization box was going to get carried away by little fairies, right? I picture them kind of blue, pink, maybe like you can tell I grew up in the My Little Pony stage, right? So these little fairies, they're going to take my compartmentalization box, they're going to carry it away, and I'm never going to have to deal with this shit ever again when I have a six-figure income and I have a law degree. And I put my head down and I worked towards those things. And I thought that a six-figure income and a law degree was going to bring me the happiness that I had wanted. What I didn't know is you can't buy happiness, not even with hard work. You earn happiness by being grateful. Happiness is a choice that you choose to make every single day. You can't buy it. And just like you can't buy happiness, you also can't buy confidence. You may have asked yourself all the time, what do I need to do to feel more confident? Common answers are do the thing more, practice more, get more experience, or let someone teach you, buy a course, buy a class, go to a mastermind that's going to teach you how to do the thing. And that's great advice. You should always get more practice. You should always get more experience. You should always do the mastermind. You should always do the course if it's something that you're interested in. But all the courses, all the masterminds, all the things, all the experiences, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have that self-worth, they will never bring you true confidence. You'll constantly be like me, thinking, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing? What if they don't like me? What if, what if, what if? And when you're constantly thinking about those things, you're not really connecting with the experiences or the people in your life. Instead, you're in your head and you're putting out this outward confidence. When I tell people that I didn't really feel confident for so much of my life, they are so shocked because I had this outward confidence because I was really good at faking it. But on the inside, I was a mess. The only way that you gain true confidence is through gaining self-worth. And I'm talking true confidence, that feeling of confidence, right? Not the I'm competent at what I'm doing. I'm confident that I can do this task. I'm talking true walk into a room and be confident that you can make the connections that you need to make, that you can do the things that you need to do, that you can have the growth that you want to have in that experience. When you have that true self-confidence, you know that you are worthy regardless of your accomplishments. You're worthy if it doesn't work out. When you have that self-worth, you know that no matter what happens with the task or the goal that you're working on, that your worth, your identity, your value, it doesn't change. When you truly have that self-worth, you know that no matter what your relationship status is, no matter what your employment status is or your career path looks like, no matter what your relationship status looks like at that point in time, that your self-worth, your identity, your value doesn't change. So I want to take you back to when I was at the beginning of my journey, and I'm sitting in this neurolinguistics programming practitioner course, and we're doing this thing called conscious unconscious integration. And I'm going to leave out all the complicated stuff, and let me just basically summarize that to mean that if you've ever said part of me wants to do this and part of me wants to do this, this is what we were dealing with. And the parts of us that we were dealing with, we were digging really deep. So the example that was given to us by my coach was part of me wants to be a good mom, part of me wants to be a entrepreneur or a business owner, or have a big career, whatever that looks like. And so I sat back and I said, what is my part of me wants and part of me wants situation? And I realized that it was part of me wants to be a great attorney. Part of me wants to change the lives of my clients through the actions that I take in my law firm. And the other part of me knows that I have such a powerful story through my I'll be happy when moment to at that point in time then and up until now, and that I can help so many people who feel stuck, who feel alone. And so my part of me wants to be a good attorney, and part of me wants to share my story and impact lives through explaining my journey. And it was through this process that I realized that both of those things are possible for me. And it was through this process that I realized that there is so much more in life for me than attorney Amber. And once I realized if there's more to life than attorney Amber, then that must mean that attorney Amber isn't my whole identity. Then I went through this whole identity crisis. Who am I? Who am I if outside of attorney Amber? And that question, who am I really outside of the things that I've done academically and professionally? Who am I? And when I started to answer that question, I started to really gain that self-worth, and I started to really gain a confidence that allowed me to start my podcast, that allowed me to now grow it to new heights, and allowed me to start my coaching business, because my identity was no longer tied up in attorney Amber. If attorney Amber, or if my legal career disappeared, which thank God it's not, but if my legal career disappeared, I would still be worthy, and I would still be valuable and have self-worth. And with that comes an incredible amount of confidence. So I would ask you, what are you tying your value to? Do you truly believe that regardless of your relationship status, regardless of your career, regardless of whatever else is going on in your life, that you have value? What do you identify with as yours? If you are tying your identity up into one thing, and that thing is an external thing, like a profession or an economic status, what happens when those things no longer exist? What happens to you? And here's the really, really hard truth that I had to accept for myself. And that is that confidence and perfectionism, they can't coexist. You cannot be confident and always afraid of doing something wrong at the same time. You have to be willing to be imperfect to truly be confident. And there may be somebody out there that's going, bullshit, I'm confident in what I'm capable of, but I'm a perfectionist. And I would love to talk to you and hear your feedback, because I don't believe it's possible. Perfectionism causes us to shrink. Perfectionism causes us to constantly question our abilities, to constantly question our self-worth. When we are a perfectionist, we are tying, by definition, we are tying our value, our self-worth to the completion of a thing, but that completion of the thing has to be perfect. We spend so much time working on that thing that we don't work or focus on anything else, and we end up missing so many opportunities around us. We become so focused on doing that thing perfect that we miss so many other amazing things in our life. If you're always worried about doing it right, if you're always worried about making a mistake, you cannot have true confidence. Trial by error is part of the process. It's part of the confidence process. Perfectionists and trial by error, they're like oil and water, right? I am a recovering perfectionist, and sometimes I'm not so much in recovery. My productivity masterclass is the perfect example. I recorded those videos 4 or 5 times, and finally I just had to say, you know what? The value's here. The information's here. The videos might not be perfect, and that's okay. I'm going to send this out so that I can start making the impact that I want. And I am confident that the impact I want to make will still be made despite any imperfections that might exist. And the imperfections that I may see, other people may not even notice, because this is one of the things that we talk about so much when you're creating content. You may end and say, oh my gosh, I messed up. I didn't mean to say that. I wanted to say this and I didn't say it. You're the only one that knows. The reality is, confidence and perfectionism, they cannot coexist. So if you are somebody who has asked yourself, you know what, I want to get more confident. How do I do that? Yes, the practical answers are get more practice, get more experience, get more education in that thing. By education, I'm not talking about traditional education. I could be, depending on what you're trying to do, or masterminds, classes, coaches, whatever it is that it's allowing you to get the information, tools, and resources that you need to get the experience and practice that you want in order to gain what you believe will be confidence. But just be warned that you can get all of those things. And if you don't have that self-worth on the inside, none of it's going to matter. You cannot buy self-confidence by buying experience. You only buy it by getting self-worth. I hope that this episode has been valuable for you. If there's something in it that was valuable, please head over to the Success Center Facebook group. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. You can also head over to iTunes and leave a review. It would mean the world to me, and it would allow me to be able to share this message with more people. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You have the ability to design the life that you've always wanted, and you owe it to yourself to get out of your comfort zone and live that vision.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the More Than Corporate podcast. If anything that was said during this episode resonated with you or provided value in any way, it would mean the world to me if you would head over to iTunes and leave a rating and review for the More Than Corporate podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I'm really looking forward to connecting with you. If you'd also like to connect, I've created a Facebook group that is full of amazing people who also make it their mission to live their best life every single day. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, the name of that Facebook group is Success Center. Head over there, request to join, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.